Oh, don't be so slow. It's embarrassing. Who could fool you like this? Who could hide right?
The doctor, eh? She's taking that angle.
Change the face anytime they want. I'm the doctor.
She fits into that role, that's for sure, right?
We're going viral.
Ah.
Take a picture.
Hey!
Selfies
Osgood.
are they? And you're having a lovely moment.
Nice bow tie.
Bow ties are cool. Big smiles.
Oh. So that should mean
Afternoon.
Kate Stewart.
You've picked a lovely day for it.
Beautiful shot. Yes.
But there's been a bit of an upgrade.
Oh, yeah, you're about
The
to...
dead are coming home, Doctor.
Cybermen?
Shiny and new.
Explain. Tell me now.
Hey!
Oh, that was nice. Let's do it again.
No, I need to talk to her. I need her away.
Oh god, am I about to see... Ugh. Cyberman Denny Pink? Yeah, whoever that used to be is getting a first look at their new existence. Oh. It is Denny Pink.
Stories. 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 I made them up. Ask anybody who knows me. I am an incredible liar.
Danny Pink knows all about it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Why are you still alive? You know where it is.
Yep. You know the best part about knowing?
Not telling you.
Yeah. Could be bluffing, but she was able to get her hands on that tech. No, I'm not sure if that's directly
Remember all
from...
those years when all you wanted to do was to rule the world?
On my way.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Piece of cake.
Oh god, this is about to be quite the reunion. Beautiful photography once again. Love the handheld approach.
Hey, Missy, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Missy.
Whatever you call yourself, I promise I'm much more useful to you alive.
That is a good point, well made. I'm proud of you, sister. But did I mention banana?
Oh. Bananas. I like it.
I would never, ever give up the doctor. Because he is my best friend too. He is the closest person to me in this whole world. He's the man I will always forgive, always trust, the one man I would never, ever lie to.
That's gotta hurt. Oh my god. Get ready, Clara. Oh god. Oh god.
Danny.
Who else? But the girl who's got your number. Whoops.
You put us together.
I kept you together.
Why?
Because she's perfect, isn't it?
My Clara.
The control freak and the man who should never be controlled. You'd go to hell if she asked. And she would. Phone's ringing, Doctor. Can you hear that? Help me, Doctor. Help me, Doctor.
She's great.
He's hurting because I hurt him and he wants it to stop.
Stop the pain and he'll kill you.
Maybe I deserve it. I was afraid of this.
I'm so sorry.
Him getting dragged into... Oh. What? James Bond over here.
A mission to...
Yeah, you're done. Look at this. Like Superman in blue.
Clara, watch this. This is who the doctor is. I can't see properly, sir, because this needs activating. If you want to know what's coming, you have to switch it on. And didn't all of those beautiful speeches just disappear in the face of a tactical advantage?
I need to know. I need to know.
What?
Yes, you do.
Just do it, Doctor. Do as you were told.
I was just gonna say, she's more of the doctor in this situation.
Typical officer.
Passing it on to.
Keep those hands clean.
How do we stop it?
It cannot be stopped.
Happy birthday.
Oh.
No, did you? Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Hey!
Tiny bit pleased.
Wow.
Why are you doing this?
I need you to know we're not so different.
I need my friend back. Don't you trust yourself?
Tell me, am I a good man?
I am not a good man. I'm not a bad man. I am not a hero. I am an idiot with a box and a screwdriver, passing through, helping out, learning. I don't need an army. I never have, because I've got them. Always them. P.E. Cats!
One burning Cyberman is hardly going to save the planet.
Correct.
All of them, though? He's the commander.
The current coordinates of Gallifrey. It's returned to its original location. Didn't you ever think to look?
You are lying.
We can go together, just you and me, just like the old days.
You've been clapped in irons.
If you like. Doctor, I'm assuming you'll remember those coordinates.
All I'm doing is not letting you kill her. I never said I was letting her live.
To save her soul. But who, my dear, will save yours?
Ugh.
Say something nice.
You win.
I know.
No. Oh.
She's alive. She can't be here.
She is.
She fell out of a plane.
But who's a Cyberman?
Cyberman
Osgood?
must have caught her.
She's talking about her dad.
Oh.
Of course, the Earth's darkest hour and mine.
Wow. Oh, he's gonna do it. Oh. But surely Missy isn't dead. Surely.
Just one trip, one person.
Oh, the kid.
It's not good news, so just listen, okay?
I know. You and Danny are together now. That's great. That's how it should be. But the old man and the blue box, that's never going to fit in. I phoned Gallifrey.
No.
Wow.
Score. The fury of the Doctor.
So what are you gonna do now?
Go home.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is so Clara doesn't feel.
Gallifrey can be a good place. I can help make it that.
Me and Danny, we are gonna be fine. Don't you worry. You go home.
Both of them are lying to each other.
Hug.
Why not? Within reason.
This one time. Go on. There you go.
Why don't you like hugging, Doctor?
Never trust a hug.
Means goodbye.
It's just a way to hide your face.
Oh. Yeah.
Doctor, traveling with you made me feel really special.
Ah, is this goodbye then?
Thank you for that.
Thank you for exactly the same.
Huh. Damn, so is that it? Is that truly it for Clara?
Doctor, you know it can't end like that. We need to get this sorted, quickly. She's not alright, you know, and neither are you.
Who's this?
Come in. Now, stop gawping and tell me. What do you want for Christmas?
Alright, the Christmas special comes up. Okay, so the Series 8 finale, the first of the Capaldi era. Yeah. I mean, first of all, you know, that, I suppose the mid or the post-credit scene that kind of kicks in. I guess I get my answer almost immediately, right? The question I posed, is this truly the end of Clara as the companion? Is this the goodbye? And yeah, from the sounds of it, it's not quite the end. I might get one more outing from the sounds of things because Nick Frost is playing Santa in the Christmas special. That's brilliant. That's just brilliant. Who doesn't love Nick Frost, right? He's just fantastic. So I'm really quite excited about that. Great setup moment. But yeah, up until the actual hint by Santa at the end there, I just, you know, I thought that this actually might be the goodbye to Clara, right? And I found myself in a bit of a tricky situation, or interesting one, or yeah, fascinating one, I suppose, because this is a character I really like. I've enjoyed Clara so much, as you've seen. But for some reason, I wasn't feeling much in that scene, right? At the point, thinking that perhaps this is the final time I might get to see Clara. Yeah. I mean, you know, the scene before in the cafe. I mean, it's a beautiful scene inside of the cafe, isn't it? I mean, they truly are best friends, aren't they? In their final act, both of them, you know, choose to spare each other the knowledge of their heartbreak, right? I'm good. You know, the doctor's telling her, I'm good, I found my home, Gallifrey. I'll help make it a good place. You know, they're joking about, yeah, I could be a king, maybe even a queen, right? So he's trying to establish that I'll be good. You do your thing. I'm not going to be lonely. I have a future. You know, I'm going towards something. I'm going home. That's how he wanted her to feel. But then, of course, on the flip side, you have Clara, whose reason for kind of having to make that choice, right, is gone altogether. But she does not let the doctor know. She does not let him in on it because, again, just like the doctor wants her to feel happy and make sure that she knows, you know, he's in a good place, she wants the same for the doctor. So yeah, you know, it's a heartbreaking moment. It's a beautiful moment, but also a heartbreaking moment, of course, followed up by the tragic hug. And finally, you know, the doctor tells her the reason he dislikes hugs, or just a reason to hide your face, right? And then, of course, the close-ups of both Capaldi and Jenna Coleman. Capaldi specifically, oh my goodness, it's, you know, seeing him like that, you know, teary-eyed, and you see just how much it hits at that moment. I mean, of course, Jenna Coleman feels it as well. But there is something really quite impactful to see the doctor, this specific doctor, tear up like that, to actually, you know, emote in that manner. But yeah, I must admit, I didn't quite feel that sadness of potentially saying goodbye to a character I really like, right? A companion I really like. So yeah, it's a strange feeling, for sure. It is. And listen, I'll be honest, some of the payoff in this episode, in this finale, some of it is the type of payoff that requires like a multi-season build-up or focus, right? The Clara and Danny Pink goodbye scene, right? It's clearly meant to be quite emotional and tragic and heartbreaking. You know, as she is telling him, it feels like I'm killing you, right? That exchange, that whole thing of her having to, you know, let go of Danny Pink or helping him kind of move on. It just didn't have that impact on me. You know, of course, it's a subjective thing sometimes, for sure. But for me, it just didn't really quite have that emotional punch that it is meant to have. And I'm not speaking of the one later on as he lets the Afghanistani kid through, Though I can say Afghanistani because I know a lot of the English-speaking crowd from England or from Britain, Great Britain, they don't say Afghanistan, right? That's more of a North American thing, I believe. I mean, that was certainly a beautiful moment. It landed. It was impactful for the closing moments of Danny Pink's character arc. I really enjoyed that part of it, for sure. I mean, it's going to be a tough task, finding that kid's parents. But again, it's not something that is going to be a focus or anything. But on a practical level, yeah, it's not going to be easy for Clara to pull that off, right? Realistically speaking, his parents are probably long gone as well. But as I am on that topic, how about Orson Pink, right? How does that play out now? Because, I mean, that was a major focus earlier on in this season. Yeah. Is it possible? Is it possible at all that Clara might be pregnant? And they might explore that further if she is going to come back beyond any Christmas special as well. And the thing is, you almost never get this type of send-off for Companion, right? That they just disengage and they just kind of move on to their life, back to their, human life. And they just kind of exist in that universe, essentially, right? You go to Rose, her ending, really quite a specific ending, right? She had to be in an alternative parallel universe and all that. You've got Donna, of course, the tragic ending to Donna. Of course, she exists in that universe, but she doesn't have any of that knowledge anymore. I mean, I suppose Martha is the one who does kind of check out and kind of just goes on to live her life. And then, of course, there's the heartbreaking ending to Rory and Amy's run as companions as well. So, more often than not, these companions don't really make it out in one piece, right? Again, maybe Martha being the exception as of this point. And then now Clara, right? So that was another reason that I kept kind of questioning at that moment. Is this truly the end for Clara? Is she just going to disengage and that's it? And she'll just be around, getting to live her normal life? I mean, her life's not normal, really, in comparison to any other human anymore. But still, that was another reason I was really quite, actually, the more I think about it, maybe that's the reason I wasn't truly emotional, because I didn't completely buy it, that it is her goodbye. And again, moments later, I do kind of get a bit of a setup moment or a bit of a hint in terms of, she'll at least she'll be back for this special, Christmas special. Maybe that might be the true send-off for her. So yeah, let's see. Maybe that might be the reason. Maybe I just wasn't buying it. It didn't feel like the actual goodbye, perhaps. Maybe that's why it didn't really quite hit as I was expecting any Clara goodbye to hit. But yeah, the episode as a whole had a lot of iconic moments, a lot of iconic Doctor Who moments. I thought it had a lot of memorable and quotable lines of dialogue throughout. Some fantastic delivery, of course. Great acting, fantastic acting, phenomenal acting even on display through some of these actors. Again, the standout being Capaldi, in my opinion. Michelle Gomez as the Master is a scene stealer. Oh my goodness, I adore that take on the Master. Again, it's one of those things, right? It didn't truly feel like that's the end of the Master yet again. I feel that I'll see her again. At some point. I mean, listen, their fascinating friendship, their, toxic relationship, fascinating relationship just demands more screen time and more focus. It simply does. More exploration, no doubt about it. Especially because Michelle Gomez and Capaldi are so fantastic on-screen partners. They really are. So I'm really, really hoping to, and honestly, realistically expecting to see Michelle Gomez's Master or Missy once again, be it season 9, hopefully season 9 at some point. Maybe, you could give it a bit of a break, perhaps, maybe in the second half of series 9, maybe in the second half of series 9, you can bring her back in somehow, right? Somehow the Master has returned. Can you really keep a bad girl down? Somehow, I doubt it. I think I'll see her again, As long as I see her again, it doesn't matter how soon it is. I just need to see her again on screen. Her and Capaldi's Doctor, the 12th specifically. Wow. Yeah, I mean, anytime she's on screen, anytime Missy's on screen, you're just glued to it. You really are. And there's a lot of action in this one, a lot of set pieces, a lot of really good set pieces, fantastic ones even. A lot of just really cool Doctor moments. Him, free falling and kind of gravitating towards the TARDIS as he pulls out the key. That's just a straight out cool Doctor Who moment. That's like a Superman moment, right? And then the TARDIS coming through the clouds. Them on the plane, President Doctor on the plane. Yeah, there's a lot of fun moments, I suppose. But if I'm being honest, a lot of it doesn't really kind of come into play in terms of the conclusion. But then, given the episode's grand nature, especially in that first half, I felt that the conclusion at the graveyard, at the cemetery, it was so intimate. And I felt that it was the right approach to take at the end there. Kind of flipped it in it. Because a lot of times you'll see the opposite. If you kind of go back to the End of Time parts 1 and 2, and then also the Last of the Time Lords, and I'm bringing those up because those also had the Master as a part of that story. And, as of this point, yeah, Michelle Gomez's take on the Master is the one I prefer and enjoy quite a bit more. You'll have to forgive me because I cannot remember the actor's name at the moment. Something Sims, right? That Master was perhaps a bit too larger than life for my liking, a little too over the top. But this take on the Master, or this regeneration of the Master, Missy that is, so enjoyable. It really is. The cheek, the banter, charming yet diabolical, because she is out here actually doing the killing rather than just kind of grandstanding and talking about it, right? There's a lot of death in this one, right? A lot of major death. The tone overall, it is really quite bleak, both in its aesthetics, of course, right? And that's kind of showcased in its photography as well, and that gray tone, again, cloudy as well, right? So it really kind of makes sense to give it that bleak tone. But then, by the end of it, it's all sunshine. But yeah, the plot itself is really quite bleak as well. Osgood, that's quite the death. And it appears that a bit of jealousy might have brought that on as well, right? Because Missy is in the background as the Doctor is telling her all of time and space, right? Kind of alluding to, potentially taking her along for a few trips, perhaps. She certainly has all the makings of a fantastic companion, right? But of course, it's a bit of an ongoing trend, isn't it? Anytime you do kind of come across someone that could make a really good companion, they usually kind of get killed off. And this usually happens in the Christmas specials. I've seen a few of them at this point. This wasn't a Christmas special. So even though there is a lot of charm, she's quite unhinged as well, isn't she? At times it was beginning to feel like Heath Ledger's Joker, right? The relationship, you can kind of even look at it as a Batman and Joker relationship that's kind of going on. You complete me. But I mentioned that the conclusion at the cemetery or the graveyard felt really quite intimate, right? And really quite focused. One aspect of it, or one portion of it, is just this person, the Master or Missy, just trying to get her friend back. And then, of course, a few other things that are a focus of that cemetery scene, Danny Pink struggling to remain human. The Doctor trying to understand who he is in the face of these really difficult moments, right? Kind of goes back to a few episodes ago, The Mummy on the Orient Express. Sometimes the only choice, or sometimes only choices are bad ones, but you still have to make a choice nonetheless, right? That's certainly put to test, or it's on display in this episode for sure, right? And I think Peter Capaldi's acting really shines in a lot of these moments, right? The anguish in his eyes. And I'm speaking of that moment as the Doctor realizes that in order to save the Earth, he must sacrifice the remains of Danny Pink, or the humanity that remains of Danny Pink, right? And it hurts him, right? You see that he certainly feels the dreadful consequences of his actions in that moment. And you see the pain in his eyes. But yeah, I really enjoyed the I'm an idiot moment. I'm not a good man. I'm not a bad man. I'm not a hero. I'm not an officer. I'm an idiot, right? Ultimately, I think he does find some semblance of peace, with him, about himself, essentially, or the type of person he really is. Pain is a gift. Love is a promise. A lot of standout moments. Now, in terms of Danny Pink kind of maintaining that humanity, I mean, not really. Once Clara kind of initiates the process through the screwdriver, again, the doctor couldn't do it, and then Clara tells him, "Do as you're told." He just could not do it. But then later, he kind of returns a favor, or it's the opposite. As to save Clara's soul, as Missy put it, he takes it upon himself to put an end to Missy. But of course, Kate Stewart's father lands the killing blow. The killing blow. Again, I don't really think she's gone. But yeah, I'm sure that was a beautiful moment for a lot of the classic Who fans. I mean, I did get chills as well, because again, even if I don't have any experience with classic Who, you can still feel the moment, right? You can just kind of tell sometimes, okay, this is a big moment. This is an emotional moment, right? And it can still kind of get through to people like us, people that have only seen or experienced new Doctor Who or new Who, right? So yeah, that felt like a special moment. And I'm sure it was even more special for you guys, fans of classic Who. Yeah, and you got the salute, right? Finally got the salute. But it's kind of crazy though, isn't it? All of that going up and down his timeline, coming across these silly people that died to save you, I think she said, or the silly people that died so you could be here. Something along those lines. Hell, she might have even actually run over Danny Pink, right? She's had a hand in so much in terms of keeping Clara and the Doctor together, right? Because she knew that this is the type of individual, this is the type of companion that is going to push the Doctor into this direction, right? And then ultimately, it all kind of had to fall on his birthday, because ultimately she had a gift for her friend whose birthday she did not forget, right? A friend that she just wants back. And listen, it can kind of maybe even go back to that moment, or in the conclusion of the Gallifrey portion of that finale, right? The End of Time Part 2, as the Doctor does not kill the Master. Maybe that moment kind of changed something again. Maybe that brought something out in the Master, and then it carries over to Missy, right? This regeneration of the Master. But that being said, so let's kind of tackle that. So in the End of Time Part 2, right, they disappear. The Doctor makes them go back into the time lock, right? And that includes the Master. So the Master is meant to be time locked in Gallifrey, right? If I have this correct. But since then, the Master has regenerated. Now, I'm not sure about the order of things. I mean, clearly the Master escaped the time lock and from the looks of it, swiped some Time Lord tech, right? As kind of explored in part 1 of this series finale, and also regenerated into Missy. So, there's still a lot of unknowns. And I think I kind of posed that question in my discussion for the last episode as well. If they are going to kind of fill in those blanks, it didn't happen in this one, but maybe down the line, maybe if Missy can return, I certainly hope so, and I expect it. Maybe down the line, I might get some of those moments filled in. But yeah, the lady in the shop who gives Clara the number to the helpline, the best helpline in the business, something along those lines, right? The person who put the ad in Deep Breath, right? And remember Capaldi saying, oh, it must be an egomaniac, a needy game player sort of person that would put this kind of ad in the paper, right? I mean, it's kind of spot on, isn't it, about Missy? And it was Missy at the end of the day, though, of course, at that point, the Doctor was alluding to Clara. And also, I've got to say, it's perhaps the most nuanced exploration of the Cybermen character, right? Especially, of course, through Danny Pink as Cyberman, or as a Cyberman, right? The body horror aspect of it is certainly on showcase, on display, and it's really quite jarring to see Danny Pink in there. And in terms of Danny Pink kind of maintaining a part of his humanity, even after he's, I don't know, his emotions have been fried, on request, of course. Ultimately, I suppose it begins in the last episode, right? Part 1, as he's kind of struggling to make that choice, delete emotions. Clearly, he didn't delete those emotions, but then he was transferred into a Cyberman body, right? As many of the others. But then, of course, there's the whole love is a promise moment, as Danny Pink, even after, those emotions have been fried, maintains that, attachment to Clara. I almost said Clara Pink. Now, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really sure I understand the mechanics of that. I just kind of assumed everything's just going to be fried and kind of reset. It's certainly a beautiful idea for sure. Love is a promise, and then he does maintain that love for Clara, right? Even if Danny Pink isn't there anymore, the personality that is Danny Pink is not there anymore. I just think the mechanics of it are a little bit tricky, or kind of not the clearest in terms of how beyond, something like the power of love. But yeah, I think that should do it for this one, folks. Yeah, I've got to say, I really enjoyed Capaldi's first series as the Doctor. I felt that this series really allowed Capaldi, an actor of Capaldi's caliber, to really explore this new, darker Doctor who's kind of trying to find himself, trying to kind of understand himself. And he does kind of land into this common ground by the end of this episode, right? In the conclusion of this episode. But yeah, I thought it was fantastic that he was allowed to explore this new Doctor and all of its complexities, right? A lot of great episodes in this one, a lot of standout episodes, a few all-timers for sure. Listen, of course, a few stinkers as well, perhaps, and a few really fun, slice of life type episodes. Not slice of life, guilty pleasure episodes, right? But yeah, I thought it was a good first series for Capaldi as a Doctor. And now, the next phase, even more focus on the complexities of this Doctor specifically. And of course, potentially his relationship or continuing relationship with his companion Clara. Again, I'm not sure if she is going to be a part of Series 9, or maybe, this Christmas special might be her actual send-off. But even so, even if it's not Clara, whoever ends up being the companion, but if she does continue, it'll be great to see the direction they take, right? How they kind of evolve this relationship that they have, this partnership, this friendship, the best of friends, right? The only man she claimed that she could never lie to, yet she does lie to at the end, for his own good though, for his own good. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, consider dropping a like, consider dropping some comments. Please do, really, give me your thoughts. If you are interested in full length, timer-based full length, of course, or perhaps early access to the next few episodes right now, consider checking out the Patreon page and supporting the channel. The links are in the description and the pinned comment, also links to social media. Right then, thank you so much for joining me, folks, and thank you for your time, because time is precious. It really is. And I do hope to see you again soon for Series 9. Oh, no, back it up. For the Christmas special. Then Series 9. But yeah, until then, take it easy.